The next song was called One More Night. It's song number 2, and I guess I'll see how it goes. You can hear it, right? Just barely. Barely. Oh, that's right. I have to turn the lyrics. I didn't even look at the lyrics on the last song. I just realized I didn't even look at the lyrics. I was just listening to it. I ordered the lyrics, but I didn't look at the lyrics. Maybe I'll just do it without the lyrics again. I'll get the lyrics ready just in case I need it. Okay, One More Night. 18. You're like, Curtis, you really suck at this. You know, it's kind of just how I do it, if you wouldn't mind. Okay. You know, the funny thing is, I'm actually a little bit anxious, is what it really is. You're like, are you okay? No, I'm not. I get a little bit nervous around these girls because they are really, really talented when they come out with a new album. I didn't even know they were working as hard as that they were. So, just the thought of them having such a mature new album is sort of daunting because I liked that symphony song, so I'm sure they're calibrated probably a lot in that sort of direction, so I'm a little bit nervous. Okay, One More Night with lyrics. Wow, they added a boy. This doesn't get done very much in music. But it basically has a single male figure. He is a teenager in his room, and well, I want to kind of listen a little bit more because I want to see how far it goes before it changes. Well, that's interesting. They're gonna think this is crazy. I mean, they're gonna be really mad at me. Okay, so you know how they're a really big singing family? Like, uh, well, there's so much of a singing family that their dream guy can sing. Like, they would only imagine like a model figure, nice muscular body, and he can sing much like they can. So, well, they're all imagining the same guy. And he's like 18 years old, and he's like got a fit body, but he's really shy, and he's got this really nice house. He's also in an empty house as it starts. Now, he's got somewhere he has to be. So he's in his room temporarily. He's writing down some things on a different style of journal altogether, more for a guy than what it is that Catherine has. But eventually he makes it to where he's walking somewhere. Now, while he's walking, he actually sees the girls as Cimorelli, but they're there and then they're not there. They're like sort of like static images, like singing, and then but he can barely sort of like he can more sense them than anything else. And so definitely, if he were to, like, for instance, if they're standing there in the grass while he's walking past this house, and you can see them by having him in the camera view, it's diagonal, of course. He's in your view diagonally and back to his left, and then you can see diagonally to your right and to his right in the grass a girl singing. When he looks, and then from where she was but isn't there now, but it's the same grass, and now him in the distance, she's not there. So, and even when she was there, she was sort of like this sort of static image anyways. And so definitely trying to look at her is going to make her disappear. So that's exactly what happens. Well, eventually he makes it to where it is he's supposed to go, and he's a lead singer to some band in some nightclub, and there's tons and tons of people. But based on the fact that this is the song for the video, you have them all sounded to mute, and it's just him. Now, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of sweat on their faces, there's a lot of people with like a lot of gear about being basically the biggest metal rock band or the biggest musical band or whatever, and it's time for him to take the stage. And so he's now at the microphone at the exact time when the lyrics say, please give me, and then when they say one more night, his mouth actually says one more night, and then one more night again. So what happens is that's the only thing where they join at the exact same time. But because they're a girl band and they're singing their own song, he'll actually be singing an entirely different song, and you can tell because it keeps on going in another direction altogether, while the entire audience is just screaming. So, but he still looks a little sad. He still looks like he walked there by himself. He still looks a little used, like nobody really cares about him. A little bit out of place, but obviously good at what he does because the entire audience only showed up for just him, while everybody else seems extremely business-oriented about being a musician. So that's sort of what it is that I was looking at. Let's see. Now he's really, really frustrated in his environment. And so you can basically get a lot of clips of them singing in their individual places, different sections of their house. Some have those big Sony headphones on, and then they're in their really comfortable cushioned chair in their room, and then they're like thumping their feet or writing some lyrics down, and then another one in her room. But basically they're all sort of dreaming about this same guy, sensing his problems in the same exact city, where basically then would flash to whatever it is he's got to deal with during that evening, with all of his fans trying to rush him after the song, and then a lot of people needing a lot of his time. And so, during all of that sort of psychoticness, they're just basically calmly singing about him while in their comfortable environment. He's got a businesswoman where it is that he's at. Now, the night has completely ended, and a lot of people have basically given him a lot of hard times while he was trying to sign. His shirt's torn, and he's made it down into the business area of the same exact concert place, but it's where this woman is the owner of the building. And, he's got to wait where there's the security guy, And um, while the girls are one at a time in different sections of the neighborhood, some in the grass still, some walking around the neighborhood, some in their bedrooms, when they all say individually one more night, just take your turn on all 6 girls. And then one of the times, the owner of the venue says one more night, and then he's just like, because he's just not, he's not the type, and he feels like it was a concert that was sort of exhausting, and they just want him to probably do it again Saturday night. So it shows him again on Saturday night. He's got like tons and tons of people there, and they're all basically singing at the exact same time. Um, so it ends pretty exciting with the power of the crowd, and the lights are a lot brighter the second night, and it turns out that it wasn't so exhausting, and he ends up on stage, and everybody ends up singing at the same time.